This is my Smackdown review, and this was a pretty good Smackdown. I think you can say the international crowd helped it to be that, but even if you didn't have the international crowd, it was still a fine show which had enough big things happening that you can give this a 3.5, and the crowd may take it to a 4, maybe to a 4 or 3.5 according to your scale. But I think this was top to bottom a pretty good show. I think Randy Orton returning is probably the main point, because I really thought that Randy would probably return at Clash at Paris, maybe to cost Drew the match, and that way they can continue this stuff. Because I can clearly see that probably next week, uh, Drew may face Randy to determine the number one contender for the WWE Championship, and maybe then Cody Rhodes returns. Maybe double DQ happens. That way they can set up a triple threat match at Clash at Paris. Maybe Cody returns, but it costs inadvertently Randy the match, so Cody versus Drew uh, happens nonetheless. And there maybe then Randy then inadvertently lets Cody win the match, and that way then they can have that triple threat at WrestlePalooza, and then going forward you can have the other stuff. I think Randy Orton returned at the right time, because it did feel like this feud needed something more. Last week's promo did nothing really to get people excited. I think adding Randy into the mix really spices things up, because he has that dynamic. Because he already has a feud with Drew McIntyre, so there's already blood there, bad blood there. And then he has the King of the Ring loss to Cody. And then you have the Universal Championship, him going for his 15th title. So I think, and them three together, I think this will make the feud much better. And probably next week we get Cody back. So that's good also. Like the dynamic, whether Randy maybe he starts acting a little bit tweenerish, and maybe Drew exploits Randy's and Cody's relationship like he has done in the past before. So I think there are a lot of things that you can do with this. And there was a recurring factor of Drew throughout the show. Like uh, Drew also advised Logan Paul to take out John Cena. Like he was like, prove that you are here. Like, who is he to call you an outsider and everything? And I like it, because it isn't like Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul won and they just went their separate ways. Drew still advised Logan Paul. Like even the John Cena versus Logan Paul segment, like this feud that John Cena has with Logan Paul makes sense. Even though this is not the opponent that I think any of us wanted in the farewell tour, but the feud makes sense. Like John Cena essentially is like, you're an outsider, that you have to give up yourself for the better of the business, which you have not done. You have the potential but you squander it. And Logan is like, why the hell are you calling me an outsider? The only way that you get a pop nowadays is by uh, being naked at the Oscars. And that's a good point, that he, like, Cena calls Logan an outsider and everything, but he's the one who is like laying down for Hollywood, like letting his respect go. And he talks about hustle, loyalty, and respect. Logan talks about how is he an outsider if he has been doing this for 4 years, that every match he has done is acclaimed and everything. And John Cena in the end was like, either you learn the lessons or I'll beat the shit out of you. And in the end, Logan pushed him, but Cena got the AA. And apart from that, like the tag team division has been really good. Like, what can I say? Like, first of all, this crowd was really great. Like, especially the first segment of the show, Becky Lynch coming out, like her like being like, "Ah, I'm in Dublin, Ireland," and then flipping on them. Like, I have a hot American husband, that you don't deserve me and everything. That I actually wanted to cancel the show. Then Tiffany comes out to a huge pop. I didn't like the Naya part that Becky's suddenly fine with Naya, but I think they did it in a way that it didn't feel like it was out of character for Becky. Because it was like Becky and Naya, even Naya when she started her promo, she was like, you know what? Even though I don't like Becky, but she is right. And you can see Becky like, yeah, I don't like her, but she is right here. Like the current Becky's character is like she doesn't hate or love anyone at the moment. If someone is speaking in favor of her or is in favor of her, she will take their help or she will take their side. And that's what happened. Like you had Naya and Becky jump Tiffany, Jade comes out, a main event tag match is set, which in the end Jade and Tiffany win in a pretty good match. Jade gets the pin over Naya. It's just that I would have not had Naya on the show after she lost to Tiffany. But the thing is, SmackDown cannot really do that because they don't have any heels left. Because Naomi was drafted to Raw, and apart from Nia Jax, only Chelsea Green is there as a heel, and she's involved in the tag team stuff, and she's like a mid carder. And you have Julia, who is the United States Women's Champion. So you don't have the choice other than to have Nia Jax on TV, because I think if she would have been off TV for a while, which she is because she has gone to NXT also, it would have helped her rejuvenate herself, and then when she eventually comes back, it looks like, it's fresh. But it's just that we just saw her with Tiffany, and seeing her again here, and she lost. She got pinned by Jade. So it's like, why? Like, you have to go away for me to miss you. Like, either they, and it looks like they are waiting for Bianca to come back, because it looks like for the past few weeks after SummerSlam, they have been setting up for a Jade match again. Jade getting the pin here gives her more credence to go after a Tiffany again. But it's just that, okay, she got the pin over Nia. So, what else has she done to get the women's championship? You're having them interact with each other, but it was just that they're looking for a way to get a second match. And this is the way that they have, written. Like when you watch WWE Unreal, it actually kind of baffles you that even after like so many writers and everything, they come up with so much mediocre stuff. Like it clearly looks like they're waiting for Bianca. Like someone has to turn heel. Either you have the second match, have Jade win and turn heel, or have Jade lose again, maybe due to Bianca coming back, and then either she turns heel or Bianca turns heel. You have to turn someone heel, and you have to bring up some women. Also, because you had a backstage segment where it was essentially what Michin wanting a title shot, but then Kiana was like, "You have to go through me." Julia was like, "I'm not afraid." It probably looks like next week we're gonna get uh, Kiana James versus Michin, which probably Michin will win, and then the week after Clash at Paris, Julia will probably defend the title, which I know will be a good match. But she needs more credible threats and she needs more storylines. And you have to put someone there. And you don't have any mid card faces as such who are not involved in the women's title picture, who can afford a loss. But then you're not even doing a draft. So I don't know what to do with Julia's title reign. I, I, I just do not. Then probably the thing that has been carrying the middle of the show of SmackDown was the tag team division. Like Motor City Machine Guns face Melodon Miz. The crowd was going wild for the Miz. I don't know why, but I'm really liking Melodon Miz as a tag team. They have gelled really well together, and in the end, Miz tagged himself. They tried to take advantage, but he hit a code breaker. In the end, Miz got the pin like the last week, and it was a pretty good match. Please do not say that Motor City Machine Guns are jobbers just because they lost due to some like shenanigans happening. That does not mean that they are choppers. They elevate talent and they get involved in pretty big matches. And also you had Street Profits versus MFT, where Sami Zayn and Jimmy Uso like attacked MFT, and I really like how Talatonga hits the super kick and the uppercut. There's something very smooth about the way he does that. So he and they have booked him well. That even in the end, it was not like he got beat up by Jimmy Uso. He actually like hit him with the kick and chased him out of the arena. And then Sammy came with a kick to Solo's head, and Solo like comically like did his overreaction, which helped then Dawkins to hit like a topic on Hilo, which took out Tongaloa and JC Mateo, not really JC Mateo then. Then they took him back to the ring. Angela Dawkins spinebuster, Montez with a clean frog splash, and they won. So probably next week we're gonna get Melodone wins versus Street Profits, and whoever wins that will probably challenge for the tag titles against the Wyatt Six. I can see the week after Clash at Paris. And also, you had the Wyatt Six roaming around when Sammy and the MFT were talking with each other. And also, it has been said Sami Zayn is going to face Solo Sikoa next week for the United States Championship, which probably Solo is going to retain. So I think if this is happening here, maybe AJ versus Dom makes Clash at Paris. Maybe it makes it. Also, you they did a pretty good job. Aleister Black was supposed to face R-Truth, but R-Truth, due to his split personality gimmicks, accidentally went to Georgia Dublin because he mixed it up, and he was like, "But meet my friend, meet my little friend, meet my little friend Aleister," which was a little bit weird the way he said it. Or not Aleister, Aleister Black. And then Damien come out to a huge pop. They had a good brawl, and then there was a pick apart from the referees and everyone. They still went after each other. I like this, and I like I suspect that probably their next match will take place either next week or maybe next to next week. Probably maybe where Alistair Black maybe gets like either a DQ win or like a roll up win, and then maybe at WrestlePalooza we can have maybe them in a last man standing or something and have Alistair Black win the feud, and then maybe put him in like in the United States title picture. You can, but I don't know how because he's a heel. I don't know how you do it, but this feud has helped Alistair Black establish himself. It has. And apart from that, you had, as I said, the ending segment was after the Jade winning, Cena was just walking out of his locker room. Nick Aldis came with the news that Brock Lesnar called him, and I think he was about to reveal that why Brock attacked him or when Brock is returning. But then Logan blindsided John Cena with a punch, which they had to reshoot because I think Logan botched it on the live show and they reshot it for the digitals and they edited it out. And John Cena was laid out like the way he saluted, like a boom, was pretty good. Not gonna lie. And this has happened before also. Logan did it to Jey Uso. He did it to Seth Rollins in their feud. His feud with Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns were kind of based on it, but he did it with Jey Uso also. And they have booked this feud pretty well. I don't know what else to say to that. So probably a 3.5 out of 5 SmackDown for me. And because the storylines like furthered, there were good matches, especially the tag matches, and the crowd was great, and you got a pretty good Becky Lynch segment also, and Randy Orton return. So what else do you want? So what did you think about my video? Tell me in the comment section. If you like this type of content, if you like this review, tell me in the comment section. Like, share, and subscribe. If you don't, then share it with those who do. My social media accounts, which are my Twitter/X account and my Instagram account, links are in the description, so go follow me on that. My UPI ID link, which is ShabBoy@OKICICI, is also in the description, so go donate any amount of money which can help me make YouTube a permanent career option. So that was it for me for today. So thank you, goodbye, alvida.